Hey, what's going on? What's happening? Yes, we are back. It is the Designated Driver Podcast. I am Marcus D. Wiley. I want to thank you so much for uploading, downloading, and just riding with your boy. You already know who in the car with me. First of all, my girl, Latoya Butler. How you doing, sister?
I'm good.
You all right?
I'm great, actually.
You feeling a little pristine today? I'm great. You thriving in the pandemic. What's happening?
I am. I'm blessed.
Blessed.
I wake up every day. I have a roof over my head. My family has been well, and that's not to minimize, the travesties that have taken place and things that people have experienced. But I am truly blessed.
Well, that's good. You already know the backseat driver is in the building, Miss Tiffany Jackson. What's happening?
Leading from the back. How you doing?
I'm good. You been all right?
I'm great.
What's popping? What's new? Tell me something good. Just you alive.
I'm alive.
Okay, you're alive. Okay, we'll get into it. Okay,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I want to feel your energy.
Okay, it's coming.
Okay, all right. And then we have a special guest, one of my best friends. This is his mother. She is a educator. She is an entrepreneur. She's a very wise and very child abusive as well. I still have a lot of bruises throughout the years. But riding with us today, ladies, none other than Dr. Farouk. What's happening? How you doing?
That name right. I'm glad you pronounced my name correctly.
Oh, yes.
Marcus.
Yeah. You doing all right?
I'm doing great. I'm great. And I'm grateful that you asked me to be a part of this.
Oh, and I thank you for accepting. Appreciate you being there.
Yes.
So I know you have been on a fast.
Yes. Today is the first day that it ends.
First day it ends. How did it go for you?
It was a blessing, Marcus.
Yeah.
The more knowledge you have about anything you to do, the better it is.
Yeah.
So we were grateful this month.
Okay. Well, again, thank you for being here. Of course, ladies, thank you as usual. But we're going to jump right into it. Let's start with first things first. First things first. Let's get loose. Now, each one of you are mothers, and so I'm going to give you one of my funny mom stories from my mom. But as mothers, I want to know, what is one of your funniest mommy stories? Now, do y'all want to start, or do y'all want me to set the tempo?
You can set the tempo.
You can set the tempo.
Well, I remember it had to be around 1980, I'm going to say 88. Easter is big in our household, you know. I was outside playing football, and all of a sudden my mom drives up and say, "Hey, I'm about to take you to Sharpstown, get your Easter suit." And I was like, "Mom, I don't need no Easter suit, I'm good." You know, she was like, "Boy, come on." And so because I had to leave my friends, I'm a little upset. I get in the car, my mom, we drive to Sharpstown. Back in the day, Sharpstown Mall was the mall. It was the premier mall. We didn't even know we could go to the Galleria when I was in middle school.
Or knew about the Galleria. I
knew about it, but I didn't think I was welcomed. Yeah. And so we were strictly Sharpstown. So anyway, we get to Sharpstown Mall. Sharpstown Mall had this store in the called Palais Royal. Ooh. Y'all familiar with Palais Royal?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, we get in the Palais Royal. My mom is showing me these suits, and I'm like, and I knew how to make my mom mad. I would pop my lip. So if she asked me something, she like, "You like this one?" I was like, "Nope." And then she'd be like, "What about this?" I'd be like, "Nope." And so, she'd say, "Boy, just go try this on." I go try it on backwards. I'm really just being terrible. And all of a sudden, it's like I knew how to take her to the edge and then come back when it got too serious. But this time she tricked me. So I said it one last time. She was like, "You like this?" I was like, "Nope." And before I could pop my lip, man, my mama just slapped me. I'm talking in my face. Open hand. This is child abuse, Dr. Farouk, because we are in Sharpstown, in Palais Royal. She slaps me, bang, I fall on the floor. Then she stands over me and say, "You know what's wrong with you? You're just ungrateful."
Yes.
I leave my job, come get you, try to do something nice for you, and this how you act. And she said, "Boy, I ought to kick you in your face." She just talking real. The white man in there just like, "Ooh, I ain't never seen nothing like this here." And so anyway, she said, "Now you ain't getting nothing, and you better beat me to the car." So she just takes off walking. Man, I get up off the ground. I look at the white man. I really won't tell him, call somebody. I mean, you see what's happening.
Rescue me.
Yeah, rescue me. But he was like, "She went that way." And so I'm going out, get to my mama's car, get in there. She was like, "Buckle up." And back then, we didn't have seatbelt laws. when I was in middle school, we didn't have seatbelt laws. But she was saying buckle up, so I couldn't move because she wasn't finished. Tearing me up all the way home, driving home. Every time we got to a stoplight, she just hit me with this hard part of your hand too. This is child abuse. Again, I want to let y'all know this. And she just kept hitting me. I was just riding that car hoping, Lord, please, let the light turn green. Because every time it's a red light, I'm getting hit. And so,
That is funny.
So that was one of my funny mommy stories. So, any one of y'all jump in. Who got one for me? Funny mommy stories.
Well, I don't think of it as a funny mama story, but my husband and I were married 6 years prior to becoming Muslims, right? So we're very strict, especially him. And he didn't dance prior to us becoming Muslim. I always liked to dance. And the stereo was in the prayer room area. See, we had a room where you don't walk in with shoes or anything. You go in there and pray. And the telephone was in there and everything, so he could monitor it. So that was when Ice Ice Baby was out.
Yes.
Girl, I used to go in there and move the prayer rugs out the way and cut that on, and I was just getting down. You know, my little steps that I can remember, but I had to be in the prayer room so I can look out the window to see if he's coming so I can cut the music off.
That is hilarious.
So I'm in there just dancing and having a good time. And here come Rashida. Rashida couldn't dance. She come in there all happy trying to get. I say, get out of here. You know, messing up.
Yeah.
I guess that was my me time. But when I think about it later, I laugh about it.
Yeah.
You know, but I used to have to dance before Brother Farouk come home.
Get your dance on.
We evolved out of that, though.
That's good.
That's
good.
hilarious.
What you got, Toya?
Well, when Dakota started school, she was 5, and you know how they have parent-teacher night, meet the teacher. So I was so excited because that was one of the things about becoming a parent, being involved in, you know, the school activities. And so I'm so excited to go because they did like an All About Me poster or something along the lines, and then you have to say a few things, you know, about your family. And so I'm just giddy. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see what my baby has done. And so we get there. The teacher talks a little bit, explains a few things. And so then it's time to go outside and look at this poster. She has all of her, you know, favorite foods on there, what she likes to do, her hobbies. And then it has, how old is your mom? For whatever reason, on this poster. And my baby put 50. And I have been 35 ever since that day because I think I was about 35 at that time. So I think that's where 35 resonates in my head. But I just could not believe it. And I had to have this long conversation with her. So now when my age comes up, she's like, Mom, just to be clear.
They're obsessed with age and stuff like that. It's funny.
Oh my gosh, age and what time she was born. That's just a constant.
So she thought you was 50.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to see your birth certificate because you may be lying to everybody.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm 35.
Okay, 35. Come on, Tiff, give it to me.
I have a very animated and expressive child, so I have many moments that would involve her, you know, making me laugh. But I'll start with me finding out I was pregnant. I think that would be the funny moment for me because I'm still laughing about that. So you know, I'm married, doing married things, and you know, I had no idea whatsoever. So my sister calls me one day at work, and she's like, "You're not pregnant, are you?" And I was like, girl, bye. Like, what are you talking about? She was like, oh, yeah, I already know how you roll. I had a fish dream. So I don't know if y'all know about that.
I do.
The little things. She was like,
I saw it on Soul Food, but go ahead.
she was like, I had a fish dream. I was like, wrong one. It ain't me. And she was like, I know how you roll. You know, whatever. So I was like, okay. And so didn't think twice. Second thing came around, I took a shower. and my chest was so sensitive from the water, I thought I was gonna die. So I was like, wait a minute. And then I had trained to run a half marathon. And after that marathon, I like passed out to the point where I didn't know, when I woke up, I didn't know what day it was, what time it was, or nothing. So I was like, let me just go take this test. So I went to the dollar store because I'm frugal and economical.
They got pregnancy tests at the dollar store?
Yes, and they work.
Oh my God.
So I did my little business and put the little thing on the stick, and immediately it was like pregnant. I was like, no, it said it need 3 minutes. So that can't be right. So I'm gonna just go take care of a load of clothes or go get me something to eat or whatever. So I came back and it was pregnant. I was like, I literally stared at it for like, I'm not exaggerating, like 5 minutes, just like.
Okay.
So I didn't call my husband. I called my best friend.
Wow.
And I was like,
wow.
I mean, I was like, girl.
Girl, yeah, girl. Yeah. It's a different word,
like,
Dr. Ru. We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
Go
we'll
ahead.
talk about it. I was like, girl, this thing, and I told her, she was like, the dollar store.
Yeah.
Like, she wasn't worried about me being pregnant. She was like, the dollar store. She was like, girl, come over here now. She had went to Walgreens, got the ones that clearly say pregnant, not pregnant. She made me pee on it. Pregnant. And I was like, girl, what I'm gonna do? She was like, you gonna have a baby? I was like, no, I ain't ready. And she was like, well, you should have thought of that. Yeah. But moral of the story, I was devastated and in denial, but it was very funny. And I was like showing it everything and still was like, no, this ain't real.
I just can't believe you went to the dollar store.
I went to and I'll do it again. I will encourage every woman not to spend all that money.
Yeah, the dollar store is good for astringents and candy that's back there. Not pregnancy tests.
It worked. It worked. And I'll tell you what, when I went to the doctor to confirm, that test was very similar to the one that was at the doctor.
It looked like the same little strip.
It looked very similar.
Yeah, whatever. Well, listen, let's get into it because I'm excited about the subject matter today. This all, Dr. Farouk, stemmed from a prior episode that we did. And Toya here kind of extracted a piece of our last episode and thought it'd be good to talk about this thing about women, basically wives, needing a break. It's something we hear a lot, something I hear a lot throughout culture now. Women with one child, maybe two, tops 3, and they need a break, but mainly the ones with one, Tiffany.
Yep.
Mainly the ones with one.
Need it.
They need a break. And so I thought, hey, who better than a sister that I know that, and correct me if I'm wrong, who had 6.
Ooh.
Yeah, 6. And full-time job.
Yes.
Full-time student, as well as wife.
Full-time husband.
Full-time husband, because that was the episode last time was part-time. No, it was full-time mom, full-time job, employment, part-time wife.
Oh, okay.
And so that's how we got to this. I need a break. And so I thought you was ideal person to come and just share some of insight, wisdom, and some of your story, as well as and these sisters going to speak not only for themselves but from just what we hear in culture.
Right. That's true.
In culture. So the first thing, let's start into it. I want to know why is the phrase "I need a break" from a wife with children viewed negatively or oftentimes misinterpreted? Why is the phrase "I need a break" viewed negatively or oftentimes misinterpreted? Because if I could just set up, when I hear I need a break, and not necessarily from my wife, just period, I mean, a break from what? I mean, such is life now to me. It's
all of it.
Life has happened, and I think when you get a break from life, they call it death. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. So, the phrase "I need a break." Is it a negative phrase? Let's just start there. Is it negative?
It's not negative to me, but I feel like it's misconstrued and misunderstood by partners and spouses, because I feel like husbands and men, when they're tired or they're hungry or they want to go to the gym or whatever, they just do it. It's not, they don't have to really manage the logistics of getting it done, besides just getting up and starting the car and going to the gym, or going to the refrigerator and getting something to eat. Where with moms, you know, if I go to the gym, it's got to be when the kids at school, after I drop them off. Okay, maybe right before I pick them up, or you know, I got to make sure that this is done before I can even get in the mindset of going to the gym. Okay, if I'm hungry, then you know the little crumb snatcher's gonna run behind me and be like, I want some too. What about me? You know, and then nobody's running behind the wife or the moms, making sure like, oh, you hungry? I got you. It's some on the stove. You good? You know, it's all like we gotta go out and eat what we kill.
Yeah.
Right. Now let me just preface and say, even at 35,
oh Lord,
I was not holding. I was holding on to it, and I say this very respectfully, because my mom did it alone. She was a single parent, 2 kids, and so I do see it as a sign of disrespect to say it, but I never did say it because we weren't allowed to, because my mom always said, you know, family planning is important. When you have children, you know, you take care of your children, and that's what you do. So for me, I'm not at home doing a myriad of things and I'm just like, oh, I just need a break. A break for me could be, let me just finish this 30-minute episode of this television show without an interruption. Or may I use the bathroom just in private? You're coming in here with your iPad, you're a remote learner, and you want to show me something, and I just want to use the bathroom. That's it, just for a few minutes. And now I say it. Before I suck up a lot of things, and then I keep things on the inside, and then, you know, once you hit your breaking point, that's when all heck breaks loose. And that's not good. That's not good for anybody. And so I say, you know what, let me just say, can you give mommy a few minutes to just finish up in the bathroom, and then I'll be out there and I'll, you know, tend to your needs. So it's working out well. It's a work in progress. And that's on me. I need to be more intentional about saying what it is that I need, so to speak, instead of just, you know.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. Dr. Root.
Well, I think, too, is that it's how we define our roles. In this society, they have made the female's role somewhat inferior because it's different, but it's still equal. And you enable your husband to run in and out of the house without consequences. See, it's just like an addiction. But as far as a break is concerned, we had 6 children. When we converted to Islam, we had 3 in a row, so it was almost embarrassing. So I definitely wasn't getting a break. You know, you breastfeeding, and the other one had to be pushed off because you had another one. But the point is that our break was going to Dunkin' Donuts with my friend, leaving the kids in the car. We parked the car right in the front.
This is when you can leave the kids in the car.
Yeah, leave the kids in the car, bring them out those munches, donut holes. That's all they can get. Hopefully they can get 4 each. And me and my friend would stay inside and drink our coffee and eat our glazed cake.
What?
You know, and enjoyed our talk. And then we get back in the car and go home.
Yeah.
Now, and then too, I think really my break was, I went to school all through having kids. I got my bachelor's at 32 with 5 kids. My master's at whatever age, 50-something. No, I got my doctorate at 52, and I had kids in college asking me for money on the campus while I was trying while I was trying to get my doctorate degree and working full time.
Wow.
So where was the break then?
I mean, was there like a time lapse where you had like more hours in a day than 24?
Not really, and look, not at all. And we didn't have a cell phone.
Because I don't understand how.
What? Let me tell you how you can do it.
Okay.
When you're not drinking, and when you don't have a sugar daddy, when you're not doing a lot of immoral things, then all your capacity can be used to take care of business, and you can't have baby children.
Okay, so would mine qualify as a baby? Because she off the chain.
Not really. No, I wouldn't. No, my kids. When I would leave home, I had 6 kids. When I leave home, I told them, do not look out that window, because that just looks so poor to me. Kids with the blind, letting everybody know you at home by yourself, you know. So you had to raise your kids properly in order to be able to go to school full time and what have you. But my me time probably was at Texas Southern University when I was in class.
Yeah.
You know, so it's different.
Okay, let me ask this question, because I think this is something. So, children are with their moms pretty much 99% of the time, right? They're not with dad like that. I believe it's a reason why kids gravitate to mom more so than to dad. And I don't think it's dad's doing. I just think, and I'm wrong, I could be wrong, but I just think moms just, y'all have this connection or this, I don't know if it's because you're so into nurturing or because you maybe carried the joker. You know, you have a different type of connection than what dad has. So I'm asking, do you think that has a little to do with why it's hard for you to get a break or me time, because the connection from the child to the mother is way stronger, way more potent than it is with the dad?
I don't think that it's stronger, or I just think it's different. I wish I knew what the formula was of why that happens. I do think that moms create these little nightmares for ourselves in some capacity in our efforts to be nurturing or try to overcompensate for what we thought we didn't get or what we think, you know, we should be doing to kind of sensationalize motherhood or whatever. I definitely I can find identify where I'm guilty of some shenanigans that I you know, put up with and enable with my child, that dad just is like, you know, like my daughter expects a surprise every day when I pick her up from school. Every day. And I mean, without fail. Yeah. Like, she gets in the car, she's looking in the car. I don't see anything.
Yeah.
What?
Some type of treat or something.
It has to, it's something.
Dr. Farouk, did you hand out treats when you were?
No, sometimes I would eat my treat in front of them. That was my me time.
Yeah.
I get caught up with that one. My little me time is Starbucks. Like, me and Starbucks go together.
But what you were saying too about the connection, the connection is natural.
Okay.
That's why the baby comes through you. That baby's hearing your heartbeat for 9 months.
That's true.
So that baby needs to be on top of you because your body is like their body.
Yes.
And then God put that nature in you to connect with the baby. You have the compassion for the baby. You're the first teacher. The mother is the first teacher when that baby comes out. The father doesn't have that compassion. He loves the baby, but he doesn't have a breast. So that's your role, you know, because and that's the heartbeat the baby has been hearing. So when we understand what our role is and what the plan is, we can just chill and just enjoy the moment, you know, and ride with it. the man is the one that's supposed to go out and chop down the woods and get the money, pay for everything, so you can have the resources to nurture that baby. But the roles have switched because we had to work too, because I still worked when I went to school. So when that happens, we kind of get a little masculine and ignorant, because we making money too, so things start happening.
So do you think it should have been like if you took that step into working as well, that he should have taken some things too, or were you considered like out of line?
No, he should have been washing some more dishes. No, a man should help in the house now. Mm-hmm. But this society has made them feel that that's a woman's role, totally. Mm. But in my faith, we wasn't raised, although he might still not be doing it, but we wasn't raised that way where the physical work is totally for the woman,
right?
And not for the man, Mm. And it depends on how we accept it, and then I had children. I had a bunch of kids, so I had a duty list on the wall.
Yeah, when they old enough, we don't delegate, but
you got to start delegating young though.
Yeah,
because
it's
you all are good parents. Mm-hmm. Seriously, the parents today, y'all very kind, but you all spoil those children.
Mm. You know what?
It's spoiled. It's spoiled.
Yeah.
Because it's not just her that want that surprise every day. You like the feeling of seeing her get it. It's a
drop a dime on a Dr. Farouk. Boom.
That's lovely.
I don't be feeling like the surprise every day.
but you don't want.
But you start.
Yeah, you have to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm not bashing. You all like that. This is y'all culture, materialistic on the outside. Everything has, when you buy purses on Facebook, everybody know your perfume, everything you buy. It's because y'all deal on the outside instead on the inside. That's a whole nother topic, isn't it?
Yeah,
yes.
We don't.
Yes,
Alhamdulillah.
that's a whole nother topic.
Okay, let me ask this question. Oh, this is good. I'm loving this. Let me ask this question. So, sticking with the breaks, when women say, I need a break, and Toya, you express that for you, that just might be, let me finish watching this TV episode.
Yes, because I'm not trying to go anywhere. I don't go out. The most that I would possibly do if someone has an event, like a milestone, it's a birthday, something like that. It's a planned event. I'm a homebody. I've always been a homebody. So it's not to say that I'm just, trying to be, out running the street.
Right.
That's so far-fetched. But sometimes you may just need like a mental break from everything because you're constantly, you're working, you're taking care of the kids, and like piggybacking off what Tiffany said, I think in some way, shape, or form, I have kind of created, I don't want to call it a problem because they are my children, and Chris's children too.
But you've created a situation.
But I have created a situation where I am my children's protector, so I don't allow my children to go, and I can count on 2 fingers who I will allow my children to stay with. And one of them is my mother. And so Chris will say, oh, well, we can go do this and that. And I say, we have 2 kids. We're going to be right here. We can watch a movie, or, they can go with us. But I think at a certain point, it kind of just, it adds up, and it adds up. And like we said earlier about them being able to go somewhere. Now, Chris will come and say, hey, do you mind if I go blah, blah, blah to the gym? I'll be back by such and such time. But I'm not going to say no because you've already planned it. It's already, it's already
in motion.
So I'll say, okay, go. But everybody who knows Chris knows that Chris is going to find somebody who he knows. He's going to hold the conversation. He's going to stop at Jamba Juice. Yeah. And he's not going to like what he bought at Jamba Juice, so he has to go to Smoothie King and compare notes. And then he's going to come home, and then it's like, okay, 2 hours later. And it's like, okay. And he'll call in between, and I'm just like,
that's a good thing.
Just be here.
Okay.
That you're safe.
And I hear you. But this is what I'm saying. So when you get this break, because I know this from personal experience with my wife. Let's say we plan something. Hey, we going to New Orleans this weekend. No kids.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's ooh. But when we in New Orleans, all she want to do is talk about the kids. Oh, I
it's
missed
the lack of balance.
I miss the kids.
You have to call and check on them.
I want to see what they doing.
Yes.
And, woo, I miss my poo-poos and woo. But you need a break. You understand what I'm saying? Now you had a break and now you're on your break, but you want to think about the poo-poos. You missed the poo-poos. So
how many times
I'm just saying, just talk about that.
You've been at work and you like, oh, I hate this job. Or, oh, I had a rough day. You know, he pissed me off at work.
Right. Okay.
You go home, you not at work no more, but you talking about how your day.
Yeah.
Right, that's true.
Yeah,
The infractions of your day.
So that's how you.
It's the same.
That's how you figure that
It's the
in?
same thing. It's a part of.
Nah, it's not.
Yes.
No, don't get me wrong. Great illustration, but it's not. That is not the same thing.
It is.
Because you want a break.
I do.
That's what you. Somebody do.
I need a break.
That's what you have been craving. That's what you have been saying. Hey, man, I just want to wake up, not worry about packing lunches, not worry about picking up something, not worry about that. That's what the whole break thing came about. Now I have you in New Orleans. I have you out of town, Las Vegas. I have you somewhere. We away. You on break.
So you don't want to hear about it.
I don't, because if I'm hearing about it at the crib, and now I got you away from the crib,
right?
And I'm still hearing about it.
But she's not complaining that she need a break. It's a whole different conversation in the capacity of the children.
You just won't surrender, will you?
What?
You just won't turn your life over to the Lord. I mean, just surrender sometimes.
No, not today.
Okay, not today. Okay. So watch this here. Talk to this a bit, Dr. Farouk. Toya kind of mentioned that she said only 2 people keep her kids. We talk, these youngsters, younger mothers, and I know like my wife, she really doesn't allow her son or daughter to go with other people. And I'm talking about trusted people. I mean people who we consider good friends or family members. And we would hear the old adage or idiom, it takes a village to raise a child, but they will not allow the village to help raise the child, which now feel like it's a lot of pressure on them. So back in your day, as you was coming up with all your kids, was there a village, or you just had everything pretty much under control?
Well, the village was the community I belonged to, the religious community.
Okay.
However, I did not let my kids go spend the night in people's homes.
Right. Yeah.
Because I didn't know what the man was like. You don't know people. And I had 4 daughters and 2 sons.
Right.
And in fact, I remember when I allowed them to be in the Girl Scout around the corner, and they would go to the little meeting. And when it's the purpose of the Girl Scout to go to camp, right?
Yes.
When it was time for the camp, I said, y'all can't go.
That's right.
And
That's right.
And the people couldn't understand. They said they thought it had to do with money or whatever. They were willing to accommodate or whatever. I said,
It's not about that.
You're not going to camp.
Right.
Because you have your standards, and when you're raising your kids with those standards, you have to teach them to be selective too. And it would just kill me if something happened or somebody touched my child or whatever.
Absolutely.
So, and more so today.
Yes.
More, because the moral fiber is low.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Today. So you really do have to, and then you have to create the environment in a home where the child is happy at that house. Where, they're not missing being in anybody else's house.
Right.
Because you have it safe and they have everything they need. So I was very strict when it came to that.
But ladies, do y'all think though that is more pressure, not necessarily pressure, but that is a little bit more work on your plate, not having or not allowing your kid? And I ain't saying to go anywhere, because I couldn't as a kid. My mama wouldn't let me go. It's 2 people's house I could spend the night over. At that time, my 2 best friends, Corey, Maurice. Boom. The moment 2 houses I could go over. She knew them. I mean, you know, she knew them the whole nine. But that was it. But, you know, we have it today. Erica got a code with our son Chase. Like, you know, she'll call and he got his phone. If he say something like he having a good time, it's a mama son type of thing they have. She be like, "Oh, I'm going to get him." I'm like, he said he had a good time. No, that's our code to mean come get him. I mean, like they have some little old thing that they.
That's good. That's good. I'm gonna try that. That's good.
You
My child not gonna want to leave, but I'm gonna try that.
Yeah,
That's good.
If he want to go, and so you know, but I'm just saying, do you think because you all are not so okay? Yeah, you can go over my sisters, or you can go over, you know, people we know house. That's more on your plate.
More on your plate.
More on your plate, just needing a break. Like somebody wanted to give you a break by having your child for the night for a sleepover.
I have my idea of how a break looks.
Okay, give it to me.
And if it does not hit all the high notes, it's not a break.
Okay.
And so I just want to do what y'all do. You know, I just want to get up and walk out the door. Like, don't answer to nobody. Don't say this way I'm going. It's already planned, but I don't have to really dot I's, cross T's, pack lunch, make a call. You know, that would be great for me. But I would want my partner to already get like what the plan is for how we raising these children up. And
is that possible though?
I don't think it's impossible. I don't.
Well, I don't want to call anything impossible, but is it possible, Toy? Is it possible for the husband and the wife to operate in sync?
In sync.
We are in sync. You just don't like your syncness. You don't like your part.
That's not true.
We are in sync.
So I will say that Chris is very supportive in that regard because he's very intuitive when I start to shut down, you know, or get quiet, things of that nature, because I'm just thinking in my head. And the last thing, of course, that I want to do is say the wrong thing. So I just, you know, do a lot of processing. And he'll say, "Why don't you go and do something for yourself?" But because I'm such a planner, I need to plan. I can't just leave like that.
Girl,
I can't just leave
I would just run out the door.
I have to plan it out. And then where am I going?
I would just run out the door.
Where am I going and what am I going to go do?
I've done it before. I've run out the door.
I've done it before. She said I've done it before.
Pace the aisles of Target.
And see, I'm not a
Call
shopper.
everybody, anybody somewhere.
Anybody somewhere.
Y'all somewhere. Can we?
So
Y'all, I got a minute. Where y'all at?
I have to have
Where my
that
tribe?
day organized. Chris is the spontaneous person. I'm not. I've gotten better, you know, over the years. So I would just be sitting in the driveway in the car. Where am I going? Where's
So
my
you better call me.
destination?
I can. You. Maybe.
What you think on that, Dr. Farouk? What do you think on that as relates to what we're saying?
Well, my sync wasn't what I wanted it to be, but it is what it is. My husband always was at the mosque. That was his second wife. And it might have been his first, you know. And you having all these children, but I didn't have a problem with the kids. In fact, my house was filled with the Christian children. You know, I always brought kids to the house. I go to Sam's and buy food and have enough, but everybody had to clean up now.
Yeah,
That's right.
Now, you know, it wasn't any guests.
yeah.
You know,
ain't no guests over there.
back it was one that really knew how to cook chicken. I would definitely bring her over there. But the point is that I would be annoyed at how much time my husband spent away from home.
Okay.
Yep.
But I had to accept who he was. And so, how did I live like that? I would make pretty clothes. And I would step out pretty. Yeah. You know, we were covered now. We had the headscarf. I didn't want to look like no mammy-made Muslim. So I always had something nice because I taught in the public school. And people used to look down at my ankle because that's where my skirt ended. because they're trying to figure out what does she have on. So I was always creative in my dressing, you know, and so, and I would make something that he didn't see and go to the mosque and I'm clean as the board of hell.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to be creative how to still get that attention and then play like you don't want it.
Yes.
You know, so I knew he wasn't going to do certain things. So I would make myself sick thinking about it. And another thing, I went to school. I was going to school through raising kids. So I knew that eventually I was going to be getting paid.
Yeah.
You know, so money helps too.
Yeah.
You know, it helps a lot. You know, so you really have to know how to what to do with yourself when things are not the way it should be. And you're right. It's not fair all the time because they do get to go in and out, but a lot of times we're not going to be able to stop it. But the thing is where they're going. If they're going somewhere decent, if they're not doing anything, you're not seeing signs of them doing anything immoral, it could be worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
so
it
true,
could be
yeah.
worse. My husband was at a religious place, although I was sick of it. And that was his hangout. It's just like being on the corner, but he was just at the mosque praying and with the brothers, but it's the same feeling.
I can relate.
Yeah, it's the same feeling.
My husband is his first wife is his job, so he's committed. He got the work ethic of
He does.
ooh. He ain't gonna be late. He gonna be early.
Oh, that's
he gonna
good.
be prepared.
Gonna
You know, but if he not gonna remember when the baby program is. You ain't remind me. You know? but he's serious, and I don't. You know, so. To your point,
He's very reliable.
There are some things that I know without a doubt. He's very predictable. I can tell you. I can tell y'all what he doing right now. So he is that predictable.
That's a good thing.
But I know what his what his triggers are, and he not gonna miss no work. He's not gonna. It's a big deal. But I just think that everything needs a little balance sometimes.
It does. You're right.
So to me, I'm like, I never give you a hard time. I'm never gonna give you a hard time by going get that coin.
Yes, please don't.
But if there, I do think our family should come first.
No doubt.
So if I have said, just like you said, and you need to be intuitive. If I've said, I don't bother you every day.
Right.
So if I've said something, I need you to. Okay, I need that's my that's my warning. I need to.
Okay.
Change some things up.
Okay.
I want to add something.
Add, Toya.
Going back to
Add.
what Dr. Farouk said about, finding your place, and when you start, feeling, certain emotions. I used to, Chris has this thing about just his shoes being everywhere, and it would annoy me to the 10th power. Just pick up your shoes, but he's telling the kids to constantly go put your shoes up, pick your shoes up. Why do you leave your shoes here? And I'm like, they're tripping over your shoes to get to their shoes. But okay, but being at home during the pandemic, and I hate to say this, but it kind of made me realize how unimportant me talking about picking up the shoes really is. So now I just take the shoes and I
have a whole
Lysol
list.
them first, and I just throw them in the closet. But I said that to say being at home during the, it just opened my eyes to a lot of things that I felt were, issues.
Issues.
Were not really issues.
Yeah.
Like Dr. Farouk said, it could be way more things that you could be concerned about. And I say, you know what, I'm going to pick these shoes up, and I may throw them, but and I'm going to be quiet about these shoes.
You're right.
And he helps with the, I'm not going to say helps because it's his responsibility too. Laundry, like we said during the first podcast, we really don't have gender roles. Now, if you complain, it's yours. Don't complain about it. Like he had a few issues about laundry one time. Well, it's yours. But I'm back to it.
That was me. But
yes.
And let me say this too, ladies. Hang on to your relationship because it's smooth. I've been married 55 years. You get what you want in the end. You really do.
But I feel you, but I feel like I'm in my prime right now. So, you know, I want to be a little smooth now.
And you can be there, but you have to decide that the smooth might be 15 minutes or whatever. but the point is that we stress ourselves out on wanting this man to be the way we want. And I think what happens is we make it worse because the more we want it, the more they go away from it.
Oh, you talking.
When we already knew
you got to play like you don't want it. And then they're wondering why you're not talking about
working
it.
on me.
And you got
because I know, like you said, it's not in the grand scheme of things. His shoes is not a big deal, but it still bugs the hell.
It's the point of everything else that has to be done. You just have the audacity to, you know, just leave the shoes there. But it's I'm sure, of course, bigger than that. But then that's on me to say something about it. Like what's really going on.
You know what? I think that's why God allowed this pandemic to come about.
Yes, ma'am.
Because things like that happen, God has the power for that. And it forced us to come home. We had to get out of the environment.
That's right.
And separate from each other. So we had to live with those people that we were going to work and leaving all the time. We had to live with each other and realize that some things are not that important.
That's right.
You know, now you can hang out there and die, or you can pick up some shoes and here.
That is so true. It taught me actually a lot about myself in the process. And so you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
It was,
and that's good that you saw that. I'm not saying, but we all have to reassess the way we think.
That's true.
And especially you ladies that are very neat and clean, y'all get to nitpicking and organize.
Nobody want no nasty.
No, seriously. You know, and it's good to be like that.
Yes,
but you got to learn when to zip your lip about
Oh,
certain
he's
things.
still working on me though. Like even if I don't say it, like my demeanor, everything.
You gotta want to be worked on, Tiff.
I do want.
Talking about he's
I
still
do,
working on me. You gotta want to be worked on.
She does.
I be praying, but you know, I got it. I hold my tongue, so that's progress.
That's good.
progress.
Yes.
Okay.
Progress.
Yes.
But
then you know my shoulders and my head.
Well, that's just like my husband cooks now. He hasn't always done that, but he cooks good too. Pretty food, clean food, and we sit down and eat. But you know what the problem is?
He don't clean up.
No, I do that. He cooking. I'm gonna clean up. And it's his smacking, girl.
Oh, smacking. I knew it.
My God. And I'm sitting there trying to have some quality time and eat that food. And
I get up.
Sometimes I have to look over at him and say, Eugene, I know you got all your teeth. You enjoying your food, but dang, you.
Yes.
Oh man.
I used to feel so
noisy.
bad about doing that, and we had a friend over one time, and she said, "Toya, how do you do this?" And I'm like, "Girl, it could be just like Dr. Fruit could say.
Oh,
it could be much
my
worse."
God.
I said, "This
Hey,
is
a
what
little
I have."
smacking.
Oh, it's not Lil.
And I think sometimes
It's like punching you in your
he
ear.
does it on
her.
purpose.
No, he's not.
No.
That's just a smace.
no.
Man, just enjoying his food.
Well, you eat with them then. I challenge you.
Yes, I
challenge you.
I'll play like I'm going to get some more so I can get out of there.
Yes, just
Too
the
much.
other day we were trying to watch TV while we eat, and so I got up and he was like, "Oh, I'm too loud." I said, "No, I'll be back." I never went back. I just could not. I'll pick up the shoes. I can't do this.
Yeah, but
Look here. Okay. Little smacky, y'all tripping. Let me ask you this. Toya, how many days have you been away from your children? How many days so far have you ever spent without seeing your children?
This
Just period, just over time, like. How many days have you been away? You too, Tiff. Have you been? Has it been 2 days?
Does FaceTime count or just none of that? Or like physically just away?
Yeah, let's go. I mean, you can talk to him on the phone and all that. That's
Okay.
cool.
My longest period is probably when I went to Amsterdam for like almost 3 weeks.
Okay. That was work related?
Yeah, for work.
Okay. And at that time, Austin was about how old?
It's been within the last 2 years. So
Okay.
somewhere between 4 and
Okay.
6.
Okay.
So I would say she was probably like 4 or 5.
Okay. And that's 3 weeks. About 3 weeks.
Maybe a weekend or so.
A weekend.
Because usually when we travel, the kids are with us. And if they're gone, it's because it's by force, by way of my mom.
Yeah.
Because we can't say we need a break, but she'll say, "Oh, I know you have work to do," or, "You know, the last time you came, you looked a little tired. I didn't want to say anything. Bring that baby over here," because at that time, you know, we didn't have roaming.
Right.
And she'll say, "Bring over here," but then it's a fight to get her back. I'm calling Mama. Can I get-"
that's sweet.
She's not picking up the phone. I call my sister. "Sister, you heard from Mama? She's got my daughter." And
Why they don't be answering the phone?
Take advantage of it, but I'm like, I need her back.
You
so
need
maybe,
a bag, yeah.
Maybe
you wanted a break and you need a bag. Okay.
maybe 3 days.
Maybe 3
at
days.
the most.
Dr. Rook, for you, I mean, talking about since they've been grown, but when
When a child, probably maybe 3 days to 4 days when I was in the hospital and having another baby.
Right.
I had breaks when I had children.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious.
It is.
Marcus,
so no
so
breaks.
amazing.
See, no breaks.
But you know, I went to that was work related. I was looking forward
Okay.
to
to
that
it.
break.
I was like, I'm gonna eat meals uninterrupted. I'm gonna sleep by myself.
And did you?
I'm gonna yes.
I mean, you had so you was.
I mean,
cool.
I was I was jet lagged, but
Right.
I thoroughly was like,
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to call and say hey and see how she was doing, but I was like doing
Yeah.
she
Too
angels
much.
in
Yeah.
the air. I got look at all his face.
So do y'all think, as we get ready to close, but do you think that moms are suffering?
Yes.
And do you think they're suffering in silence, or are they suffering just because men we don't, I guess, understand or care, or just don't get it that you all need whatever this is that y'all say y'all need?
I think maybe the women who have a partner who is not understanding to what his wife needs. So if you have a husband who is possibly closed-minded to the idea that your wife has all of these things to do, and even if she doesn't express it, you don't say, "Well, hey, why don't you go out to lunch with a friend?" Because when you think about a break, I mean, a break means something different to different people.
Right.
So when I think of a break, I just think of a 30-minute lunch break. So just like a reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to, calm your nerves,
Right.
think about things, and then you go back and you can be who you need to be for, those who are around you.
Yeah.
So when I think of it that way, so I have that person, I just don't like to, have somebody watching my kids, or it takes too much time. Once I get myself together, I get the kids ready, get them packed up and take them to my mom, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I don't want to go anywhere else.
Yeah, I'm not.
So it
My rule of thumb is more times than not, somebody got to come to the house. I want my child to have her bed and her toys and her space and things that she like. I'm not going to pack all that up, and she's comfortable at home. So, and then that's, to me, that maintains that structure of like bedtime and everything. So when I
would say
get that break,
is really babying the child, but I know you fix it up great. You have intelligence, so you call it structure. And
no, it is though.
Yeah.
I mean, because when she goes, like my daughter, when she the few times that she goes to my mom's house, she don't leave her glasses, leave books. I ain't got time for all that. Makes it more stressful for me. So
you see, and let me interject before you go, Dr. Farouk. That's what I'm saying. when I was coming up and my mom dropped me off at my grandparents' house, watch this. It wasn't no bring nothing over there. They
sneaky.
No, I'm just trying to tell you. I went over there, and guess what? You experienced over there. Guess what over there was? Over there was they had a one-way telephone. Okay, one way.
It was gonna ring.
It's gonna be busy if somebody on it. So my grandfather was the pastor of a church. Hey, don't be on that phone. I need that line clear. You gonna have that? No cable. No cable over there. Over there, we watching Marvin Zindler, Eyewitness News. It's up channel 13. You got 11. You got 2, and you got 26. You got 2 and 26. And then over there, I couldn't go outside. I couldn't go outside and go play around. I can go outside right in front of the house, but I couldn't go around the corner where everybody was at. Cause my grandfather, hey Mark, you ain't from over here. You don't know them boys, man. So I just had to experience over there.
I mean,
so it was no stress on my mama dropping me off over there because she just like, hey, you finna be over there for 2 weeks or a week, however long. And guess what I learned over there from my grandparents? Being on time. I learned how to eat at Luby's because we go to Luby's every other day.
Yes.
I learned how to make a day out of nothing, making a day out of going to the bank, going to the cleaners, going to get an oil change. I mean, and that's how I feel. That's how I developed. That's how I grew because I didn't have home over there. I had over there. Oh, I'm preaching. Y'all ain't feeling it, but I'm preaching good right now. Okay. Anyway, here we go. I want to end like this. Man, this has been really good. What advice? Let me start with you, Dr. Farouk. What advice would an old school mother give a new school mother? Like, and that's just in anything, like, cause you've dropped a bunch of gems already, especially about nitpicking and so forth and so on. But and it just closed. And what could you tell these young mothers that's listening? What could you tell them?
Well, the society has taught all of us to be self-centered, individualized. You understand? While we might have a mate, we're more focused on what we want and not what works together.
Okay.
And another thing to the women, because it appears that the burden is more on the woman because we're the emotional people. But we got to learn to reassess how we think about situations. And a lot of influences, negative influences, come from the social media that you all are always on. And that social media will make you, the logic that these people are putting out here is contrary to being happy. A lot of people are having mental illnesses, anxiety, because this world make you focus on the external, how you look, your little clothes you wear at certain places. You don't focus on the internal. Most of you is internal. Most of you is spiritual. Your thinking is spiritual. You can't touch thinking. Anything you can't touch is spiritual. But we get so caught up on hairstyles, our lips, and booties, all this old stuff, and trying to be fine, and it's just ridiculous. So you got to grow up and think properly, but you get that from your spiritual component. But I don't know now, because some of these churches y'all go to, and I'm not knocking Christianity, but they can wear what they wear at church. They can wear to turkey leg hut.
Drop the mic on them.
It's no difference in the dress code. And then when this man see all of that stuff out there in the street, it gives him a negative attitude about women too. You probably didn't put that in them, but they seeing so much chaos and confusion from looking at these mental ill women. you know, and I have to watch myself because my daughter owns a cupcake kitchen, and it's a big window, and it's a club right on the side.
Yeah.
And I'm looking out there window like, ooh, they wearing that now?
Oh yeah, they wearing that.
Oh, it's so sad. But the focus is pay attention to your intentions. You have intentions. Are they good for you? Are they good for the people you're living around? Pay attention to what your intentions are, what you expect to get. But you all both sound like you have a good husband. Work on staying with your mate, because if you get another one, it's still going to be problems. It really will. So focus on yourself and keep yourself looking good. Now, you see, I'm still looking good.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm 74 years old.
Yeah.
So you don't get tacky looking.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I'm very spiritual. I study Arabic every day.
Yeah.
God-conscious women still supposed to be looking good.
That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, and things. So just take care of yourself, because both of y'all good women. I can look in your faces and tell that.
They all right, Dr. Rook. They all right, but these are my girls.
They are good.
Well, listen.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
I don't have to give keys tonight because, hey, when wisdom's in the room, all you do is listen. But I want to thank you, Dr. Rook, for joining us
Alhamdulillah,
on this particular
I appreciate it.
episode.
I enjoy these ladies.
To my girls, Tiffany, Toya, as usual, appreciate you all. This is the Designated Driver Podcast. I am Marcus D. Wiley. Let the folk follow you. People like to follow y'all. Give them your.
A Positive Vibes Only production.
A Positive Vibes Only production. Dr. Rook, how can people keep up with? Do you have any of this type of stuff, or you want to give somebody?
Nah, I don't want anybody keeping up.
You don't want anybody?
I've been solving too many problems.
And you can follow me at Marcus D. Wiley.
Alhamdulillah.
We'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
Right.
Very good, Marcus.
Oh, thank you, man.